I am Sharon and Leopardi, and I started a small farm called Backyard Urban Garden Farms here in Salt Lake City. Bug Farms is based on an urban farming model called S.P.I.N farming, which stands for Small Plot Intensive Farming. I learned about it through a podcast, actually. I went on their website and got a hold of all of their guides and got on an online support group of all the other S.P.I.N farmers across the world. Was asking a lot of questions and basically followed the models. S.P.I.N farming, basically you use other people's backyards in urban areas instead of buying your own land, so you take away that's a big cost in a lot of farms. Yeah, S.P.I.N farming's great for cities. I really hate lawns for so many reasons, and there's so many spaces in the city. We have the infrastructure, we have water, we have the fences, we don't have pest problems. It's generally a little bit warmer, so there's a lot of reasons to grow food in the city, so it makes a lot of sense. And it kind of made sense because people live in the city, and so the food didn't have to travel very far to get to people's bellies. And especially in Utah and Salt Lake City, it's been happening since the pioneers came here. Like, all of the city blocks were made so that people had a quarter-acre garden in the back of their property, and anything south of downtown, like whole huge acres and acre swaths, were farmland, because they wanted to make sure that they were able to sustain the population that lived there. In recent years, since industrial agriculture happened and came in after World War II, like big green grassy lawns came into fashion, and growing your own vegetables went out of fashion, and a lot of that disappeared, but it made sense, and it still totally makes sense, if not more sense now.
Bug Farms is a CSA farm primarily. We have about 75 full members each week that we sell food to, so every week we harvest, we divvy up those totals by 75, and then everybody gets that share, and our competitive edge is delivering, so we actually take that food and we'll put it on people's doorsteps.
We also raise produce for 3, sometimes 4 and 5 restaurants, and occasionally sell at a farmer's market for chump change.
I started this project last year. It was an idea. I wanted to have a farm, and I wanted to live in the city so I could be around my friends and go to square dances and have a good time and still be able to grow food. I only had about 1/8 of an acre, and I grew enough food for 40 people, 40 families every week, which was, I was really surprised at how much food I was getting out of the gardens. And then this year we have a 75 share CSA. We have 113 members, but that includes half shares, so we deliver food to 75 families every week, and we have less than an acre. So it's really cool to see how much food, we grow every week. Out of a 100 square foot bed, we're getting like 80 pounds of arugula. This year I have, there's 3 other people working with me this year. I want us all to share the workload. I consider them all my partners, and we're all making decisions together, and we work together and are learning together. So we're all basically getting paid the same amount. So each of us $10,000, and then the rest of the money is going towards building up the farm, paying for all the stuff, the truck and the walk-in cooler and the tiller and the seeds and all of that stuff. If you're looking for a big pool of people to work on a farm, like, there's tons of people here. And with people losing jobs in other places, like, they're looking at different ways of living. So as long as we can get the community support us and pay fair prices for food, we can hire people at fair wages and good working hours, and we can hopefully have thousands of farmers in the city feeding each other. A girl who did a project at the University of Utah looking at Salt Lake City and the potential food shed that we have, like how much food we could actually produce in the city if we used all sunny land that's treeless and not with a home on it. And estimates were, using biointensive farming methods, we were able to produce between 50 and 90% of all of our food, including grains, in the city. The only thing with farming in the city is it takes a lot more person labor, because you can't get the big equipment in that you can on like a huge 100,000 acre farm. So it takes more people, which isn't necessarily bad. It's just you have to find a way of supporting the people that want to farm there. So That's like the crux, is getting people to recognize the importance of food and be willing to support and pay for good food. Most people just call it bug farms, but sometimes I get confused thinking I sell bugs, but I don't. So I grow vegetables instead.